Hey class, just wanted to take a few minutes to introduce you to myself and to the course, and hopefully help maybe answer some questions before you even have them. So my name is Bobby Craig. I've been teaching music appreciation at RCC now for about 4 years, but RCC is not my primary job. Um, I actually am the worship pastor over at Hyde Park Baptist Church on the other side of Lumberton, and I wanted you to know that only for the reason that you understand that music is not just a side gig for me. Music's not just a hobby for me. Music is my job. Music is my life. I mean, every day I'm using music, day in and day out. And music is important to me, and I wanted to teach this class so I could help others really gain a broader appreciation of music across the board in every style, every genre, in every era. So that's kind of what this class is centered around, is trying to help you better appreciate what you hear and how you can better appreciate all that you hear. So the way we're going to accomplish this is through a textbook that takes us through music history. Now, it's not just a history textbook. There are plenty of music history textbooks, but this really is designed to look at specific places in history and in the history of music where music took a leap or took a change in order to get us to where we are today. And so I really enjoy this textbook and how well it does that. So a little bit more about me and how music became important to me. Well, I started in band in middle school and started on trombone. And from there, in high school, I switched over to baritone or euphonium, some might call it, and played all throughout high school. And it was a really important thing for me to be involved in the high school band. And we had a very, very good, talented band as well. So I learned a whole lot through that. During my time in high school, I also started going to church and being able to sing in choirs and solos and stuff like that. So I learned to sing as well. Uh, while there, I also learned a little bit about playing piano. I kind of taught myself in some ways. And so after that, was going to go be a band director, but felt like I needed to go and use music in a ministry context. And as a result, that took me to Samford University in Birmingham, Alabama. And there I got my Bachelor of Music degree. After that, I went out to Fort Worth, Texas, and got a Master's of Music degree. And just a few years ago, I started and in May of 2020 completed my Doctor of Worship Studies degree. And though it's not, I guess, not singularly music related, that degree did have some music importance to it, even though most of it was about the theology of worship and the practice necessary to be a worship pastor in the church. And so it was a great degree, and I'm thankful for it. But anyway, so that's a little bit about my musical background. And like I said, music is an everyday thing for me. I play guitar. When I lead worship, I'm singing. I'm involved in the music technology side of things with our church. So we use music and tracks and click tracks, and I'm writing music, arranging music, all kinds of stuff day in and day out. So I am immersed in the world of music. And so anyway, I hope that that helps you understand my passion for it a little bit better, and I hope you can see that through the class as well. So let me get my ugly mug out of the way, and we'll see if we can uh, help you understand a little bit more about this class. All right, when you come into Moodle Blackboard, you'll see this at the top of our class together. Make sure you're on the right class. Always look for this. As you scroll down, the first thing that you really need to take care of is this required enrollment assignment. This is really important. It's got to be done before you can get to anything else. And if you don't do this by the date that's listed, then the computers from RCC, they'll just automatically drop you from the class. And it's a major pain to try and get you back into the class. Sometimes it's not even possible. So make sure you do this required enrollment assignment. As you scroll on down, I set up my courses in these toggle kind of formats. So basically you got this arrow over here where you can open and close each week's events. The first one you'll come to is a course materials toggle, and in here you'll find the syllabus we'll talk about in just a few minutes, the course schedule, and your Pearson textbook registration material. So here you'll click to go and make sure that you get your course textbook, which is included with the class, so it's not an extra thing. Now there is an option somewhere in there where you can order a copy, a physical paper copy of the text if you want to. But I don't necessarily suggest that or request that or anything. The way they've got the material organized in the digital world is really far and above what you can get with a paper book. Once you get registered for the textbook, this access will allow you to get to the textbook in a much easier way, a one-click way. Now you do have the option to opt out of the textbook. You can see all the instructions there, but you really can't do well in this class without the textbook. Now this is a writing intensive class from my perspective. It's not a difficult class with the writing requests that I have for you, but I feel very strongly that you need to be a good communicator, both spoken as well as written, so that you can add to society, so you can be confident and competent in the adult world. So I spend a lot of time trying to make sure that you're doing well with your writing. And part of that is these two things, these two links that will link you to some writing helps. The second one is really good. It's only like one page, but it helps you know how to write a good paragraph. The reason that's important is because of our forums. They're all paragraph format. Our big assignments, the research assignments, those are questions with paragraph answers. So how to write a good paragraph, try and read this article. Okay. All right, as you get deeper down in, you'll see each week. And for example, on week number 2, this would be the reading that is required for that week. So you got 6 chapters. They're not long chapters. We'll talk about that in a minute. But you'll see the reading that's required for that week. Now, I do request that you try to at least look through this a little bit before the class on this day. What I mean by that, let me show you in the first week. You'll have the Collaborate class where you'll log in to watch our live class together. And that class, I'll be discussing the things that are included in that week. Now, if you've got a little bit of a head start on that, that will help you understand what I'm going to be talking about. But what I'm going to be talking about in my lecture will prepare you to understand that week's readings better as you are reading them. So that's what I'd encourage you to do is, at least kind of look through it a little bit, maybe even read ahead a little bit before that day's class, so you can better participate in any discussions we might have. Okay. All right. Let's talk about assignments for just a moment. You know what? Before we talk about assignments, let's go back to the textbook because I want to make sure that you see some of the options we have there. All right. So when you're at the top and you click on the textbook, that will take you to this place and you'll see something like this. Now, we don't use anything over here in assignments, performance, highlights, glossary. None of that. We don't use any of that. All we use is the table of contents. So when you click on the table of contents, it takes you to all of the chapters and the materials that you'll need. Click on the chapter that you want to read, and then you can see different sections underneath each chapter. And again, we don't use all of these sections. For example, shared writing and chapter 1 quiz. This is all just within the textbook. It's not graded. You can use it if you want to, but it's not expected because all of our quizzes and all of our writing assignments are over here in the Moodle side of things. Okay, So once you click on this, you'll see some things to read, and several times within the reading there will be extra links that you can click on to take you to more information, as well as built-in things within the text that will play right there within the online textbook. And I'll show you that hopefully here in just a second when that loads up. So for example, on this particular chapter, you can scroll down here and you can see that this has an interactive place where you can see what's happening with the things that they're talking about in the text. Okay, and you can see it's real short, it's just 30 seconds long. So there's several things like that every now and then. We'll go back over here to our table of contents. So you can see the one main part, which is the listening guide. Music appreciation is about music, and you really can't appreciate music without listening to music, right? And so it's not just about reading the history behind the music or the history behind the composer. It's really about listening to the music. What did they do musically, and why is that important to the history of music to get us to where we are today? And so as you listen, it gives you certain things to listen to and to look for, so that you can kind of hear what's going on and what's happening and why this kind of thing is happening. So when you get to the listening guide, you have a couple options of how you want to listen to it. Each one of these has its own tab that gives you some different ways to look at it. For example, the interactive guide, as the music scrolls through in a horizontal fashion, you'll see it gets to these dots as things change when they want you to listen to something specific. Okay. And you can see, for example, on this one, this bottom one down here, under texture, they really want you to pay attention to the fact that it's monophonic. Okay, so secondly, I'm going to skip over here to the scrolling guide, and it's very similar except for things move in a much more vertical type format. So as the music scrolls through, it'll switch down to the next level in the song. Okay, and it scrolls automatically for you too. The narrated guide is very similar to that, but the addition here is you have a narrator who is speaking over the recording to help you see what they want you to see and hear what they want you to hear. It's very helpful. Some songs, some chapters have a fourth tab over here, and it's called something like a visual guide or something like that, and it allows you to see something in a visual way in the music, and it really helps to visualize what the music is doing in the audible world. Okay, so those are a couple ways that you can listen to the text and listen to the music within the text. With that also, though, I wanted to show you one extra little thing that they do, which is great if you've got the app on your phone or on your tablet or something. You can actually put it into like your car stereo or put it into your Bluetooth speakers and headphones or whatever, and you can actually listen to the text. So you can listen to
Chapter 1, Hildegard von Bingen.
You can listen to
Play
them
a
reading
version.
the text to you.
Excellent.
So it's something that you can do maybe like if you're driving to work, you got a long drive or something. And so it's a really helpful thing,
single melodic line,
and you can
sung
follow
without
along with that.
accompaniment of any kind.
All right, so let's get rid of the textbook. Back into Moodle, I wanted to help you understand the different types of assignments that I have. We've got three different types of forums. The first one is an instructor forum, and it's basically where I'll ask you a specific question about the text and look for specific things in your response. A second type of forum is called a pick a passage or PAP forum. And this basically is you picking a passage. So for example, on this week, we've got 6 chapters to look through, and maybe something that the chapter on Landini talks about that you didn't realize, something that caught your attention, something that was really interesting to you, something cool, something creative, whatever, something that's really interesting to you. Write in your forum about that. Why was it interesting to you? What caught your attention about it? And that's where That's where I really want you to focus your attention on a pick a passage. Find something interesting to you, and why was it interesting to you? Okay. The third type of forum is a special forum. And there's only 4 of these, and a couple of them are video based, and so you'll watch a video outside of our textbook, and you'll react to that video and some of my prompts there as well. And a couple of them are related to composers and other pieces of music that they've written that are really famous. And so there'll be some options there, and all of those instructions will be much more readily available to you as you click on these, and you can read through that and understand it a little bit better. 2 things about these forums that I really want you to understand is the word count. Instructor forums and pick a passage forums have 150 word minimum word count. That's really not a lot. That's 5 to 7 sentences. And it's not long at all. The special forums, those are 250 words. Not much longer, but a little bit more information. Okay. But secondly, not just the word count, I want you to see how I'm grading your forums. Unacceptable means it's completely unreadable due to grammar, or maybe it's completely off topic, has nothing to do with the assignment. There's no competency, and it's maybe even just completely inappropriate. Okay? I hope to never have to give this one. Disappointing, this would be where there's some major grammatical issues, but it might still be readable, where I can sort of understand what you might be trying to say, but it's hard for me to understand. It's very short on your word count. Say you only get like 50 words. That's just disappointing. Average is the next level. This might be like C-level work, where you have some mild grammatical issues, but you kind of stay on topic, and you're still just a little bit short on your word count. Very good. This would be where there's just a very few minor grammatical issues that your word count has been met or exceeded, and there's a real good competency. You really have a good understanding of the topic and are able to communicate that well. And then even above that, I hope to give a lot of these, is excellent. And this would be exceeding all of those other expectations. So every one of our forums, instructor forums, pick a passage forums, and the special forums, those all will be graded on this 5-level system. Okay. All right. After forums, we also have several quizzes throughout the semester. If I remember correctly, there are 10 of these quizzes, and these, don't worry about them at all. They're very, very simple, and here's why. Number 1, they are open book. So you can have your textbook tab open in one tab, go over there, find the answer, come back over to this tab, answer the question, and you're good to go. Secondly, they're very simple questions in that they are all multiple choice. Third, there's no time limit, so you don't have to feel like you're in a hurry, and you can just take your time getting it done. Now, there is an end time, an end date, an expected by date, a due date, right? So you must have it completed by that point. But that doesn't mean that you can't take 2 hours to answer those 10 questions if you want to. It won't take you that long, 15 minutes max, if you really try to dig in and find everything. Okay, there's really no reason why you should ever fail any of those quizzes. Very simple. Okay, we'll come back to media assignments in just a moment, but way down at the very end, you'll see the final exam. Final exam is very simple also. Similar to the quizzes, it's open book. It's also multiple choice, and it also has no time limit. The difference here is the final exam is 50 questions, so a little bit more intensive, but also it is over the entire textbook, so it is a comprehensive exam. Okay. All right, now the big ones for me are the media assignments. And I give a lot of value to these because it is basically me trying to understand if you get it. And so you would do these to help me understand that you are grasping what we're talking about and are able to integrate that into conversation about different pieces of music. So in order to complete the media assignments, basically you come in here, click on the assignment. When you open it up, you'll see some videos in here, and with the video, you have 10 options. So you can click on this playlist over here. You'll see those 10 options come up, and you choose one of these 10 options, and then you'll see the things that I want to know from you from that video that you choose. The easiest way to do that is to download this media assignment template. Once you download this, you'll see there's a place for the title of the piece of music. There's a place for you to put your name. There's a place to put the date. You'll see the questions. You'll see a place to put your answer. So just throw your answer right there under the question. I'm not looking for an essay where you got 2 or 3 pages of full essay format. I'm looking for the question, paragraph, answer. Question, paragraph, answer. Question, paragraph, answer. Okay, so not really crazy at all. Now, I do expect a full paragraph. 1-sentence answers will not do. We know from our forums that about 150 to 250 words is a pretty decent paragraph. So that's what I would like to ask for on each of those questions. Okay, looks like my video is frozen over here, but I'll keep talking. So once you do the media assignments, there's a place to turn it in, and let's see, I think it's submit is the word that you'll be looking for. It'll be down here at the bottom somewhere. Okay. Now, the media assignments are a research assignment, and so I do want you to do a little bit of research with that. And I'm not looking for anything crazy, detailed, fancy, whatever. Just a little bit of research is what I'm looking for. Now, 3 sources is what I'm asking for, but the good news is one of those sources is this video. You have to show this video as one of your sources on your Works Cited page. So now you've only got 2 to meet your 3 source requirement. So for example, on this first one up here, you can see this crazy word right here. And so maybe even this one right here, you see this word you may not recognize. Well, as you get in and realize, hey, this isn't a foreign language, I have no idea what these people are saying. Well, there's a great idea right there for one of your sources. Let's go look up a translation of the text that these people are singing. I had one student one time who filled out their whole media assignment, and several of the questions said, I don't know, I might be able to answer this question better if I understood what they were saying. I can't give you any credit for that. Go out there and look and do a little bit of research, find out what they're saying, and connect that to the style of music that's being sung or whatever. And so that's what I mean by research. I'm not looking for really in-depth stuff on this, okay? All right, back up real quick to Moodle. And one minor thing with the media assignments, I'm asking for 3. They're spread out throughout the semester. But there's an option to do a 4th one. It's way down here at the very bottom under the final exam, and it is for extra credit. So if you do a 4th media assignment, what I'll do is I'll basically take the grades from your 3 media assignments, and I'll add up to 25 points for this 4th media assignment to those 3. So then when I average out your media assignment grade, you've got an extra 25 points in there possibly to average from. And so that has a potential of raising you up a whole letter grade on the media assignment section. Okay. Now, how are those weighted? I just picked the wrong thing here. This is what I was looking for. So I've got these weighted so that the forums are all 15% each. So all 8 of the forums, all 8 of the special forums, anyway, that's worth 15% together. Your quizzes are only worth 10%, but the big deal is the 30% of your media assignments. And so I really want to put a lot of weight on the media assignments. So when you get in Moodle and as you're getting grades, you'll see your score move up and down based on where you're fitting in those averages. Okay, just like most courses, most classes, 90 and up is an A, 80 up to 89 is a B. You can see all that right here. Okay. Um, Pay attention to your syllabus because there are a lot of things in here, extra resources for you that come with your, um, I guess with your, oh gosh, what's the word I'm looking for? With the cost of admission, I guess, to RCC. These things are included with all of that. Okay. We expect integrity from you in an academic world. So plagiarism is not acceptable in any way, shape, or form. And so you will be graded harshly for any time that occurs. All right. So I really encourage you to feel free to ask me any questions that you might have. You'll see contact information up here. Email is the best way to get to me. But if you have anything that's really, really urgent, you can find my cell phone number. I believe it's in the syllabus. And so you're welcome to use that to text me if you have something urgent. So I look forward to seeing you in class, and I hope that we're able to have a great semester together. And like I said, I look forward to this. I really enjoy helping people understand music a little bit better. Well, we'll see you there, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.